Yo guys, what is going on? Insanity coming back at you today with another Division video, and we're going to be talking a little bit about some brainstorming ideas about where the Division is headed, what could possibly be going on, what's cooking over at Massive right now, and the possibility of some new city DLC. What are they working on? What type of places where we would like to go, and where the series could be headed. I mean, because we've been in New York City for the past 9 months since March, and it has been a blast running through New York City, going through the subways, going through the sewers. Hopefully we can try and go in some higher buildings in the future with the possibility of raids, but that's another whole thing all on its own. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about where we're going next. Let's go. Yo guys, welcome back. Right now the topic of discussion that we have going on for you right now is the idea of possible new city DLC making its way on over to the Division in a possible sequel or in year 2 content. And I just wanted to go ahead and say a huge shout out to SkillUp for bringing this to our attention. I would have never known about this unless he would have made his video yesterday about a survey that went out to the entire Division community. And that's a laughable statement, really, because it went out to very select players. There's a ton of us out there who has played hundreds of hours of the Division that did not get any type of invitation to try and fill out this survey, but it did mention some really cool stuff, and I'm not against Massive in any way for this. They're just trying to get random feedback, and it's totally cool because the majority of the feedback they get anyways is from the community, whether it be from these quick little surveys, the PTS that they've recently been running on PC, which has been a huge help in rebuilding the game and restructuring it in a way to make it better than ever. Player count is up, and it's really interesting to see this type of things that they were putting in this survey. Most importantly, expanding the Dark Zone, something people have been wanting for a very long time, and the possibility of a new city location for a possible DLC, or maybe in the future for the Division 2. Maybe they were trying to brainstorm an idea of going, hey, where do people want to go to next? We've already used the most iconic city in the world, so where do we go from here? How do we, and this is going to be really, with the times right now, how do we trump New York City in order to becoming another city that everyone's going to love and enjoy and still play the same way that the first game does right now, with whatever player enhancements or whatever unique things they decide to go ahead and bring to the next game, or whatever DLC this could be. Yes, we never had an opportunity to go back to Brooklyn. I really hope we do. It is a pretty small play space on what they were giving us based on the player map in the very few moments of the very beginning of the game, but that could change. They may have had it sectioned off, saying, you know what, this is the only portion of Brooklyn that we're going to allow you to play in until we make our way over to Manhattan, and you got to try and save everything from there, make your base of operations, and start playing the game from the start. What if we go back to Brooklyn and there is a whole new faction there trying to take over and just destroy what is left? It could be the same scenario there, what it is in the regular game, but that's not what we're here for. We are here to talk about cities, other cities in the world, not just the states of where we could be headed. I would really like to see try and see them make something like maybe Las Vegas, New Orleans. There could be things like Washington, D.C. There's a ton of other cities out there that we can try and run to, but that's just in the States, right? What if we had a much more crazy, unique player space where you could do something like maybe Rio, or you could do, London? There's a ton of other cities out there in the entire world for us to try and run through. Do y'all remember that game, Spec Ops: The Line, where it was like full of sand, and it was a third-person shooter, and it was just really unique, and it was different because you don't really normally play games like that where an entire city is taken over by sand for a third-person shooter. You have much more unique modern environments where you're running through buildings and doing things like that, and not an entire world is taken over by a sandstorm. And it was a really interesting, unique play space. So why not do something like Dubai, with that crazy downtown area, how the buildings are really unique and beautiful, while the entire rest of the play space is really going to be more open. There's a lot more residential areas, and the possibility for a crazy desert type of a DLC is there. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Yes, I've enjoyed my time 110% in New York City, and I'd be happy staying here for another entire game if need be. But we've done some things. We want more. There's more locations out there for us to explore, and heck, there's still a ton more of New York City for us to run through. And that's the other thing that Massive really needs to look at. How can we expand the map in a way to make it so that we can still stay in the place that we're at while trying to have a lot more to explore? And that's something I really hope they look at in the future throughout the development of year 2 and beyond. I'm Insanity. Like if you haven't, sub if you're new, and sign off in the comments on where you want to go next, guys. Peace out. Have a good one. Thank you for watching.